I was hoping in honor of me speaking, Richard would get my name right. Maybe one day, on my third visit back as a school board member, I will hope. Thank you very much for inviting me. This is very exciting for me. I've been on the school board since July. So remember that when you ask all the questions about all the things that happened before July. So it's been about 9 months, so that's been exciting. The district that I represent covers about 60% of the San Fernando Valley, all of Sherman Oaks, and we go all the way up on the east, all the way to Studio City, Toluca Lake, part of North Hollywood, and we cut through the entire Central Valley, all the way up in the North Valley. We have Porter Ranch, Chatsworth, Northridge, we go all the way out to the Ventura County line. So we've learned, don't drive my district during rush hour. That's one of the things that we've learned. Let me just talk really briefly about a couple things, and then I really want to throw it open to your questions. Richard certainly touched upon so many things going on at LA Unified, and I just want to touch upon maybe 2 or 3 issues that I think are really important. And the first, as many of you have seen in the paper, is this year's budget. The state budget has about a $4 billion deficit, so what Governor Schwarzenegger has proposed is 10% across the board cuts to every program that the state funds. And that for education, for LA Unified, that means a minimum $460 million budget cut. Possibly with the revised budget, we are looking at $500 million budget cut, maybe larger. And just so you understand, state law says that school districts have to certify that their budget, that they can pay all their expenses for 3 years. So we have to make those $460 million budget cuts every year for 3 years and certify that we can do that. There is fat in the district, there is waste in the district. I don't know if there's $500 million of waste in the district. So that is something that we are looking at seriously. It takes up a huge amount of my time. I know it takes a huge amount of Jim Morris's time. And I'm happy to answer questions about kind of what are some of the things that we're talking about, what are some things that we're looking at. But that's really the reality of what we're facing. We also are facing sanctions from the state because of No Child Left Behind, something again that I'm happy to talk about if folks are interested. But what No Child Left Behind has done is set basically benchmarks that every student in your school has to reach X level by this year, and every year it raises a little higher. And what all the urban school districts, including LA Unified, are facing is that we have students who have challenges that weren't really envisioned by No Child Left Behind. Especially we have students who come into our schools in 7th grade or 8th grade or 10th grade who don't speak English, and we have a huge amount of special ed kids. LA Unified has more special ed students than San Francisco has students. Okay? That really shows the challenges that we're facing, because right now, if one group of kids in a school is not meeting the high benchmarks, the whole school is labeled as failing. And that's really something that I think will be interesting when you all are thinking about who to vote for president. Keep that in mind, that there are some different positions of the major candidates on what to do with No Child Left Behind, so think about that. But let me talk about kind of the issue that is really close to my heart, and it really is the reason why I ran for school board, and I'm sure it resonates with a lot of people in this room. I think LA Unified has done a horrible job keeping and attracting middle-class families to the district. When we were getting my son ready to go to kindergarten, he was going to go to our local kindergarten, we started asking the families on our street. We live right here in Studio City, and on my entire street, there was one kid in public school. and I see many people nodding in the room. A lot of people in this room have had a similar experience. And, you know, many families feel like their local elementary school is doing a good job, but they would never send their kid on to middle school or high school in LA Unified. And again, I see more heads nodding. And I mean, this is a huge issue for this district. If public education is going to succeed in Los Angeles, we have to be educating all of the kids, not just certain segments of the kids. I mean, what's happening now, and I'm sure I'm going to see more heads nod, is we have families who have their kid in elementary school, public school, and then starting at about 4th grade, they start pulling the kids out to make sure that the student has a seat in a good middle school, and they either go to a charter school or they go to private school. Not that anyone in here has ever done this. People are using fake addresses to go to schools outside of LA Unified. And then the one that really impacts us is families are moving out of Los Angeles in order to get a better education. And so, and this issue, it really resonates with me. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I graduated from Birmingham High School. My husband is a product of LA Unified. I want my kids to go to public school in Los Angeles and really experience the richness that is LA. But